Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Sales Remastered. I'm Daniel, your host, friend, and fellow hustler. This is where I share on my vlog different tips and tricks on how to elevate, level up, and boost your motivation, your mindset, your sales, and your income. If this is your first time visiting, welcome. Please consider subscribing if you agree with the message. Like, share, and comment. And don't forget to hit the notification button so that you're at least in the know once I upload the next video, which happens to be every day. And if you're a return visitor, you know that this is my morning vlog on my way from the gym in commute home. And what I do is I select the different topics that I experienced the day before. And I put it into some deep thought as I go throughout my workout, because it's always good to be in your own thoughts. And this is something that I find interesting because I like to reiterate or at least review my session in mentoring those that I work with. And so in my review, I'm going to share with you today an opportunity that actually applies to anyone and everyone. Anyone who's not, I mean, you don't even have to be in sales. You know, you could be in an operations role. You could just barely be in school or out of school. And I came across this idea because I have a daughter who's turning 15 soon, and she's getting to that age where I remember my first job that I got. I was 14 years old and I was babysitting. I know, weird, right? But it was this guy that lived in the apartment complex where I was living at the time, and lived downstairs. He was in the military, so he's barely home. And on my way home from school, I'd have to stop by the elementary, which was right by our apartment, and walk this little girl home. I think her name was Tiffany or Jennifer. And that's really it. Just walk her home, make sure she got home, make sure she was safe, and that she had someone in the around available in case she needed anything until about 4 o'clock. So it's only about 2 hours per day. And I remember the dad was in the military and he paid me cash, so it was pretty cool. 14 years old, I had a pocket full of money, and all I had to do was technically babysit. But anyway, where I'm getting at is my daughter is getting to that age where she was kind of upset because she school years coming back in and she wants to get back to school, and she keeps dropping hints like, "Hey Dad, when are we gonna go shopping? Dad, when are we gonna go shopping? When are we gonna go back to school shopping? I'm so excited. There's all these new clothes. All my friends have all the coolest clothes. I don't have the coolest clothes. I'm sad." And so I went through the whole daddy advice of not relying on the emotion of trying to be and wishing that they had what other people had. Don't look at anybody with envy. If anything, just understand that if you really want it, you can also have it. Whether it's by doing what they did, maybe they did some extra chores in the house, or maybe they they did a couple errands around the neighborhood and earned some money. They don't know. And so she told me, she's like, "No, that's not what happened. The parents bought it." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, fuck, of course." And so I put it out there, and I was like, "Hey, why don't you see?" Because she really is into photography, and I got her a MacBook with editing software so she can take pictures, because she was really into pictures. And I said, "Hey, why don't you offer your photography services to maybe your friends or your mom's friends or your family or people at school, and then they can maybe buy that picture from you so they could put it on their social media. That'll be their profile pic." And she said, "Yeah, that's a good idea." And I'm all, what about businesses? Like the businesses around the house. And she said, "No one's gonna hire anyone who's 14. And I said, "Well, okay, I'll respect that. But what if you went into maybe the restaurant that she likes to go to with her friends, or maybe the cafe that she always likes to pick up these boba drinks from, and offered, or at least asked first, if they have a social media page, or pay attention to whether or not they have a social media page, and if they don't, then she can offer her service of giving a free profile picture of the building or the service or the owners, or maybe a busy time in the day, and offer that for free to the owner of the business. And if the business were to, you know, just accept and take it on an offer and they really like it, all my daughter would ask in return is to be considered to manage the social profile page. And I told her, you know, at the end of the day, you're gonna have to offer a service for free. You're gonna have to offer something for free to show the value you bring, because you are 14 years old, because you are young, because you may not have the track record or the history. You know, you want to be able to gain the experience, and unfortunately, you're not going to be making $1 million out the gate. And so, you know, it's interesting because I'm looking at this as, well, damn, that's a good idea, because I think anyone beyond 14, or even if you are 14, you know, you have an opportunity to generate revenue in a different way nowadays because of social media. And it brought back a question that I got not too long ago from a follower on Instagram, and I've been meaning to create a video for it, and I got a whiteboard and I was going to draw some notes, but you know what, I don't even need the notes. I'm going to explain it to you here. The inquiry came about asking, you know, it was from a gentleman, I think in Germany, who found me on Instagram, and they sent me over a direct message asking, you know, how can he launch his internet business or increase the sales on his internet business. And so I replied back, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be more than happy to help you, you know, because I'm looking for content to create so that I can put on my channel where you're at. And so I asked him, I said, you know, what services do you sell online? And so he told me antiques. And I was like, okay, cool. And then he sent a couple pictures, and these are, you know, these are antique, like not antique, like, I'm talking about like just little antique pieces, like the stuff you would see at your grandma's or your older auntie's house. You know, like the little figurines, or very contemporary, chic. So some of it looks like some baller stuff, you know, like, but just nonetheless it'd be random. So you can find it, typically the age demographic I would imagine is anywhere from, I would say probably 35 and on up, you know, preferably probably past 45 years old. And the reason for it is because, and this is just a few items that I saw, I didn't do any of the research on it, but his question was, how do I increase the sales that I have for my internet business? And so I put some thought to it, and I applied it to my experience in actually creating the Sales Remastered page. Because what social media does is it enables you to penetrate a niche or a circle, meaning that you can hone in and actually concentrate your marketing efforts towards a demographic, or at least an area where your demographic lies. Meaning that, let's say if I was selling antique pieces, I would go on to anywhere from Facebook as well as Instagram. Facebook is going to be more for that age group, meaning that, you know, people who are at the age of 45 and up now have Facebook pages, because that's how they communicate with their kids and their grandkids now, whereas they're not yet on the IG landscape. So they may be heavily populated in Facebook, but you know, you're going to get more of a younger demographic when you go to Instagram. And so the idea here is that if you go to Facebook and you actually search, let's say antiques, you know, you search posts, you search forums, and you begin sharing content, I think that can ultimately, because Facebook and Instagram are, you know, they're the same entity basically, you can utilize your Instagram as kind of like a scrapbook of some sort of pictures of your products, but you're using Facebook as a bullhorn, meaning that Instagram is where your visuals come in, because Facebook is more, it's not necessarily visual unless it's a video. Facebook is more of like a post, right? And so I think that, you know, there's certain methods and ways for you to have that type of concentration, and whether or not the use of Facebook is intended to help you relay the content, meaning that if you put on there, you know, like just a quick description, right? It's going to be more effective on Facebook than it is Instagram, because Instagram, you just mainly see the picture. Rarely do you even read the post. I don't think too many people actually read the post. You know, you could put up a picture and then put a bomb threat at the bottom of the picture, and no one's going to respond to the bomb threat. They're just going to still going to like. and it's just because the movement, the scrolling is a little bit different. Whereas if you consider the age group that you're targeting, let's say 55 or 50 years old, and they're on Facebook, they're gonna read some shit out. You know, these are very thorough people. They're gonna take their time and read it out. And so the idea would be to use Facebook to market the content. Maybe have one picture where your demographic would appreciate. So in this case, if I was marketing to 50 plus and older, I would probably put something that 50 plus and older really relate to. So like their TV series would be, let's say, I Love Lucy, or let's say Happy Days, you know, or some sort of reference that is going to remind them of something that they relate to. Because everything nowadays, if I did a post on fucking Power or Kingdom or This Is Us, they may not relate to it because they're more concerned about the news. Or I do that, you know, I believe that demographic is very focused on the news. So I would do some shit like press release or important news, some shit like that, and say, or this just in ... and kind of go about it that way, where you want to route them to your Instagram page so that they can see the pictures of your content. And by not, you know, doing a collage on Facebook, you're not going to look like an advertisement. You know, you got to be pretty selective on the first impression. So consider how it's being perceived. But my answer to you is this: how would you launch your business? Simple. You go to platforms like Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is probably going to be more in line with the maybe your wholesale side. So if you have a retailer or a mom and pop shop, they're more than likely going to be account holders maybe on Instagram. You know, these are new, contemporary, younger generation and demographics. Whereas if your clients or your prospects are 45 and older, they may not necessarily be on Instagram. They could be on Facebook, probably even on Twitter, depending on their you know, on their focus or their profession or their age. And so I would bring up these three. I would bring up Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I doubt your demographic of 45 and older is going to be on Snapchat. I would definitely influence LinkedIn. LinkedIn is more of a mature site, but it's not necessarily meant to advertise jewelry or antiques or furniture like that. But just kind of get a feel for it and understand the power of hashtag. Understand that if you went into the search bar of Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, and, well, not necessarily Facebook, but Twitter and Instagram for sure, if you went into the search bar and searched antiques or collectibles or furniture, and you hit the, you know, the tag, so hashtag furniture or hashtag antiques, you're going to see the posts within that realm, and you can see it from most recent to most popular. And when you click on that post, you're then going to be opened up to a community of individuals who like that particular type of product. And so here's my punchline: is when you understand which social platform your customers are more likely on, understand the power of the hashtag and search bar. Understand that like ants, we seem to kind of colonize together. And so if you're into, you know, sci-fi books and I'm into sci-fi books, we're probably more than likely following the same group on a social platform, or we've heard of a specific niche group on social media in which we like it because it references sci-fi books, and you and I, we like sci-fi books. So we're probably going to like it. And because we liked it, we understand that we're part of that community. Someone can go into that post that you and I like because we like sci-fi books, and then add us as friends because we like them. And so you might be thinking, well, I don't want to add anybody to my personal page. No worries, it's free to create a new one. It's free to create a brand page. Look at SalesRemastered. I didn't pay for any of the accounts. This is all just a brand. It's all just a movement. But how did I get into the niche? How did I grow so much of a big following in such a small amount of time? And number one is its consistency. Because your brand is so new, you have to continue pumping out content and stay in the feeds. So I would recommend at least once or twice a day. But don't pump out straight advertisements, you know, like, hey, 55% blowout sale. You want to be able to advertise, you know, value. You know, don't come in with a straight sale. You know, you want to kind of allure and do what marketing is meant to do, and it's to have you look into it a little bit more. And then from there, then, you know, the game on. But I'll get a little bit more in detail. Keep mind of the videos that are already up. I think there's over 120, and a lot of them are designed for sales, designed for motivation, designed for hacks and tips and tricks on how to get past things. But this is a pretty interesting topic because I'm in the trenches right now, you know, kind of playing with this hobby, where I create content that I could share and I can reference back later. And I think that in 5-10 years from now, I'm going to be pretty good at sharing content, and I'm excited to see where it goes. And I can have people just reference these videos and look back and know that if I brought value, then I did good. So I'll drop more content on how to initiate a internet niche or create like a community or following, like I've done here with Sales Remastered. And I think if anyone is in sales or interested in doing some sort of side hustle to create income, understanding how to build a community is going to be key, because you want to kind of get your brand out there. You want to be able to get the likes and, you know, the shares or whatnot. And I think I can help you because I'm currently doing it now. So I'll get back to you after I shower, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.